It's great to have you back to the Lakers Fan Report, where we analyze every change, speculation, and significant chance that could transform the purple and gold team. Today, we will dive into the main speculations related to the franchise. Are the Los Angeles Lakers really considering parting ways with one of their most important players this summer, using his player option, valued at $97 million, as a decisive factor for a complete frontcourt overhaul, building around a young prospect and a new high-level center? The player in question has a player option worth approximately $97 million for the 2025 to 2026 season, an amount that would consume almost half of the team's total salary cap. Recent reports suggest that committing this kind of value could restrict the front office's operations, limiting the search for high-impact free agents or making significant trades. Even after deciding which supporting players to keep, Los Angeles may have less than $40 million in available cap space if the player's option is exercised. This amount, clearly, would not be enough to attract the top defenders in the league or to complement the young star with a third prominent figure. Meanwhile, the Lakers have long been interested in a solid defender who was drafted as a rookie by New Orleans. Sources confirm that the team has shown interest in the 2-meter, 17-centimeter rookie, but their proposal was categorically rejected. New Orleans considers this young player non-tradable. With that option discarded, Los Angeles' scouts have shifted their focus to other high-level possibilities. One standout player, with a career that includes several All-Star selections and a high salary that his team will likely not accept, is a young athlete known for his potential as a stretch five, but his salary of around $20 million annually presents a significant cost. None of these targets will be easy to acquire, especially if the athlete's salary remains on the payroll. This has led to an audacious theory. The Lakers could, in fact, decide not to renew the contract of the player to free up the necessary cap space to pursue one of these exceptional centers. Terminating the player's contract would free up almost $50 million. Such freedom could allow the general manager to make significant moves, perhaps combining expiring contracts and draft picks to acquire a solid defender, or even try to bring one of the league's best athletes through the buyout market. The idea of trading a star player's salary for a standout center may seem unlikely to many, but the early playoff exit exposed key gaps, including a lack of rim protection, a shortage of wing depth, and an over-reliance on individual performances. The young talent, at 26 years old, is at the peak of his career with averages of over 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. By reallocating the salary of this player to surround the young star with the necessary components, such as size, rim protection, and playmaking, Los Angeles could form a roster suited to the current NBA landscape. A post-star player structure could resemble a light reorganization, maintaining key veterans, introducing young prospects, and offering flexibility, while allowing the young star to shine. A mid-tier exception could provide a defensive wing, while the trade market could offer an efficient finisher, and draft picks would give the front office an advantage for future improvements. However, the emotional implications are deep. Fans who followed the player's journey to the finals over 4 years would likely react with a mix of outrage and acceptance. Critics might consider it a betrayal, while optimists would emphasize the need for bold moves in the coming year. The general manager will have to weigh the financial consequences against basketball logic. Can the Lakers continue to be an elite attraction without this icon's presence? The decision impacts not only the talent on the floor, but also reverberates in merchandising, sponsorships, and the global brand the player helped cement in Los Angeles. In the end, the athlete's legacy is already firmly established. He doesn't need another title to affirm his credentials for the Hall of Fame. By opting not to renew, he maintains control over the final chapters of his NBA journey. Whether this will lead him to a new destination or back to a familiar place remains to be seen. LeBron James and the significant influence he helped establish in Los Angeles. Ultimately, LeBron's legacy is secure. He does not need another Lakers banner to reinforce his trajectory toward the Hall of Fame. By choosing not to commit, he ensures control over his final chapters in the NBA, whether that means moving to Miami, returning to Cleveland for an emotional return, or embarking on a farewell tour through several cities. For the Los Angeles team, The question remains, is it viable to keep the player with such a high cost? Or is it time to let the new generation stand out, starting with a young talent and a new center? The moves planned for this summer will provide answers to this question, and every rumor, leak, and administrative strategy will be amplified. Sources indicate that the team, recently eliminated in a disappointing first-round exit, is seriously considering a significant overhaul this summer, which may even involve LeBron James leaving. This possibility may seem almost unimaginable, but as league franchises rush to restructure around new talents, the team's front office is evaluating all alternatives to enhance the performance of their star core and address the concerning lack of size in the interior. According to sports sources, the team has its eyes on a center valued at $97 million, a target many consider out of reach, but one that the team's financial resources might consider to bolster the defense. This would also bring the player a complementary presence necessary for a true title run. Imagine the dramatic scene in the executive's office, with trade rumors involving an all-star center having fans on edge in recent weeks. However, the high price requested by the rival team, including multiple first-round picks and young promising talents, has kept the deal in suspense. Instead, speculation has arisen about an alternative target, an athlete whose resume includes rim protection, inside scoring, and long-range shooting. A player who has a contract with enough guaranteed value to require a high degree of financial creativity, but whose presence could fundamentally alter the championship dynamics. With the projected salary cap seeing a slight increase, committing $97 million over 4 years to an elite center may sound bold, even risky. However, considering the possibility of another early playoff exit, such a move may be interpreted as the necessary gamble. This scenario aligns with recent comments about off-season priorities, which recognize that, in addition to extending the player's contract and facilitating the entry of new talent, the most pressing need is to acquire a player with size, a true center who can protect the rim, secure offensive rebounds, and stretch the defense with a reliable shot. In a crucial game, the team was outworked on the boards. Without a legitimate center to contest shots, they allowed many offensive rebounds and second-chance points. This defeat made it clear to the front office and coach that no amount of perimeter talent or payroll adjustments could compensate for an internal deficiency. Now, with the center market offering limited options, the team is forced to aim high. Reports indicate that the front office has started discreet talks with agents and executives from other teams. While no team is willing to discuss active negotiations openly, sources suggest that the team is considering assembling a package based on an expiring contract and a future protected first-round pick, possibly including trading a player to secure this elite center. A deal of this nature would require the team to sacrifice draft capital and perimeter depth, challenging the long-term planning against the urgent desire to win immediately. However, speculators believe that the front office, always active in negotiations, is willing to part with assets if it means surrounding their stars with the best possible supporting cast. Critics of this approach argue that the team will be mortgaging its future for a short-term gain. Currently, there is a strong desire to win. However, internal sources indicate that the general manager, always active in negotiations, is willing to trade assets if it means providing the star players with the best supporting cast possible. Critics of this bold strategy warn that the franchise may be putting its future at risk for short-term gain. After all, if health issues or compatibility limit the availability of the center, the organization may find itself without the necessary salary flexibility to pursue further improvements. Additionally, letting go of role players who have been key to defense and rebounding in 2025 could result in a fragile and ill-prepared bench to face another long playoff battle. What about the dynamics inside the locker room? The star player, known for forming super teams, built his career based on the loyalty of teammates and mutual respect. Making a trade that alters the franchise and forces veterans out could challenge the delicate chemistry that has been established over 2 decades in Los Angeles. However, management seems indifferent to these concerns. From the moment they brought in a new player, they basically announced that everything else was secondary. From this perspective, trading role players and draft assets to secure an elite center seems like a natural progression of the franchise's win-now mentality. In addition to the concrete benefits on the court, such as rim battles, pick-and-roll skills, and offensive spacing, the psychological message that such a move would send is also significant. It would signal to the league that the franchise remains the top destination for high-level talent, ready to do whatever it takes to build a roster capable of contending for a title around its star players. If there is a shared fascination with these potential impactful moves, be sure to follow the content for updates on every development of this ongoing story. As soon as the trade moratorium is lifted, the phones in every league office will start ringing. The general manager and team will gather in the draft room, with salary cap sheets spread across the table, analyzing every possible scenario. How much salary can they take on? What draft picks can they afford to let go? Is it feasible to involve a third team to ease the financial pressure while acquiring key pieces? The strategy room is used to complex negotiations between multiple teams, and it's in this aspect that the general manager excels. However, this time, the stakes are higher than ever before. The salary cap maneuvers approaching will require careful planning. Committing up to $97 million over 4 years to secure an elite center will demand the innovative use of trade exceptions, mid-level exceptions, and potentially moving expiring contracts to other teams. Is there a way to turn a key player's contract extension decision into a tradable asset? Could they offer another player with promising two-way skills in a sign-and-trade scenario? Even lesser-known rotation players with non-guaranteed contracts could have value in this context. The more flexible the available contracts, the more cap space will be available to improve the deal. It's important to note that every dollar allocated to a new center is a dollar that cannot be used on role players or future extensions for other key athletes. The calculations are strict, but if the goal is truly to contend for the title, the franchise seems willing to make the necessary sacrifices. Every potential outcome revolves around one key question. Will the general manager be able to maximize the value of his assets without dismantling the team? Recent examples of trades have shown that franchises can acquire all-star caliber players without giving up valuable draft picks. Think about the trade made by a certain team to acquire an important player or the acquisition of a star by another team. These deals required a skillful matching of contracts and draft picks, as well as a willingness to take risks on potential. The franchise has 2 max contracts, highly sought after by all organizations. Its star players' contracts, plus 2 unprotected first-round picks that could yield a significant return. Are these assets dispensable? Or will the general manager prioritize retaining at least 1 lottery pick to preserve long-term flexibility for the future? The upcoming trade brings personal implications. The new center, whom we can refer to as Big X until his name is revealed, will come under the bright lights of the team's colors. It is expected that he will not only alter opponents' shots, but also secure rebounds and significantly impact the game. A selection is crucial to ensure long-term flexibility, as well as the tactics and strategies employed. This move also touches on human aspects. The new center, to be called Big X until the official announcement of his name, will step into the spotlight under the dazzling purple and gold lights. He will not only have the mission of altering opponents' shots and securing rebounds, but also of incorporating the team's culture, which includes continuous community involvement, nightly media commitments, and the high expectations that come with the Hollywood spotlight. The leadership of one of the key athletes becomes crucial in this scenario. He must embrace this rookie, integrate him into the group of veterans, and help him cope with the intense pressure of life in a metropolis. If luck is on this franchise's side, it's possible that this leader will even pass down his championship experience to a player who embodies determination and generosity. On the other hand, if the deal doesn't go through, fans may express relief or disappointment, depending on their tolerance for risk. If there's hesitation in committing a significant amount of capital, one might opt for an alternative plan, seeking a more affordable available center or considering a medium-sized trade for an emerging player. While these options might not shine as brightly as the stars, they bring less burdensome long-term commitments. Thus, A balance must be struck between pursuing immediate results and a sustainable contention. With training camp approaching, every practice, every open session, and every preseason game will gain even greater importance. Will Big X integrate well with the team during the Summer League? Will his pick-and-pop ability bring new dimensions to the offense? Will he be able to withstand the grind of the playoffs, using his impressive size against the more physical athletes in the competition? Only with real minutes on the floor and actual games will we find answers to these questions. Until then, we can only imagine the possibilities. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, in a stunning move that's already sending shockwaves through the NBA landscape, De'Aaron Fox has officially joined the Los Angeles Lakers. The confirmation came earlier today and immediately ignited a firestorm of excitement and speculation among fans, analysts, and players alike. The dynamic point guard, long regarded as one of the league's fastest and most explosive talents, now brings his skills to one of the NBA's most storied franchises, signaling a bold new chapter in both his career and the Lakers' ongoing pursuit of championship glory. Fox, who spent the first years of his professional career with the Sacramento Kings, has evolved into a premier guard known for his blazing speed, improved shooting, and relentless competitiveness. In the 2024-25 season, he averaged over 25 points and 6 assists per game, leading the Kings back into playoff relevance. His performances often left fans and opponents in awe, especially during crunch time, where his clutch gene repeatedly showed. Now, donning the purple and gold, he is expected to take on a critical leadership role alongside veterans like Anthony Davis and the emerging young core. The acquisition of Fox addresses one of the Lakers' most pressing needs: a consistent, high-level floor general capable of managing tempo, creating scoring opportunities, and defending opposing guards. While the Lakers' backcourt has struggled with injuries and inconsistency over the past few seasons, Fox's arrival instantly upgrades the position and injects youth and explosiveness into the roster. His ability to push the pace also aligns with Coach Darvin Ham's desire for a faster, more aggressive offensive system. Though financial terms of the deal have yet to be disclosed, sources close to the negotiation suggest it was a result of months of strategic planning by the Lakers front office. With LeBron James potentially entering his final NBA season, the team is clearly in win-now mode, and the addition of a star-caliber point guard like Fox reflects that urgency. Lakers fans will now turn their eyes to training camp and preseason, eager to see how Fox meshes with his new teammates and how his presence transforms the team's dynamics. If early expectations are any indication, Los Angeles may have just added the missing piece to make another deep playoff run, or perhaps even hang another banner in the rafters of Crypto.com arena. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.